Our chapter of the fall 2019 semester was applauded by their mentor for their hardworking nature, despite their small size, and are extremely dedicated to all things Sigma Alpha Omega. At a national training in October, their passion for the sisterhood was evident in their questions and desire to learn more about how to make their chapter better. They completed all of their requirements in the fall with multiple events in each category. They communicated well with their mentor and the sisters of their chapter, and they showed that they were more than deserving of this award. Congratulations once again to the Alpha Chi chapter at the University of Michigan for their recognition as Fall 2019 chapter of the semester. Go Blue!
Hey everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood PR lady here to tell you about the chapter who has won the Outstanding Web Presence Award. So for this year's winner, this is a chapter that has consistently been great at social media the last few years. They tag me in all kinds of things all the time. They are more active on social media than our national web presence is, which is very exciting. They have all kinds of cool events that they have posted about. They have a great website, they've got a great Instagram, and they just all around are spreading the love of the Lord on our social media. So the winner of this year's Outstanding Social Media Presence is Upsilon Chapter. Congrats.
Outstanding Non-Sister is a unique award given to someone who is not in our sisterhood, but who has tremendously impacted a chapter or an individual sister. This particular person is someone who is constantly there for this chapter, using her resources when it comes to requirements and campus recognition. This chapter has said that they would not be where they are today if it wasn't for her. So it's my pleasure to announce this year's non-sister to Asia Woods, the Greek life advisor for the Upsilon chapter.
Hey everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood PR lady back again to talk about Outstanding T-shirt design and which chapter has won that for this year. So this year's t-shirt design was specific to a chapter. It was super fab. Everybody knows we love our t-shirts, and bonus points, it was on a Comfort Colors t-shirt. So without further ado, we'll get down to business. The chapter who won the Outstanding T-shirt award is, drumroll, the Chi chapter at the University of South Carolina. Congrats, y'all.
Our chapter of the spring 2020 semester has continually impressed with their ability to go above and beyond as a brand new chapter this semester. They have not stumbled with requirements and have been on top of everything that has been asked of them. They were planning for and holding events for a fall recruitment in January. They check in with their mentor regularly and without being prompted, and they always ask what they can be praying for, not only for individuals, but for the organization at large. Without campus recognition, they must be creative with their events and advertising, making their success all the more impressive. When COVID-19 forced them to be in separate cities for the remainder of the semester, this chapter continued to hold regular virtual Bible studies, virtual social gatherings as a chapter, and they started sister takeovers on their social media platforms. I am extremely proud of them for all they have accomplished so far, and I am incredibly excited to watch them continue to grow. As their mentor, I am ecstatic to present this award for the chapter of the spring 2020 semester to the Beta Iota chapter in St. David's, Pennsylvania. Congratulations, ladies.
Each and every sister that serves on their chapter's judicial board deserves a mega award in my book. But those wonderful sisters that are able and willing to step up into the role of chairwoman are a special group. This year's Outstanding JB Chair was described by her chapter as an amazing bipartisan person who can and has mediated several situations with grace and kindness. She keeps private information confidential and handles everything in a godly way, never losing sight of the light of the Lord. This year's Outstanding Judicial Board Chairwoman is Miss Karina Householder from the Beta Alpha chapter.
I have the pleasure of announcing this year's Outstanding Secretary Award. As the National Board Secretary, I am well aware of the many challenges that come with this seemingly simple job, and I am incredibly proud to see nominees recognized for their hard work in this position. This year's Outstanding Secretary Award recipient is part of the founding class for her chapter and had to overcome the unique difficulties of learning on the job without traditional guidance from a prior chapter secretary. This sister was called the most organized and attentive person I have ever met. During the chapter's meetings, each important issue was recorded down to the minute details before anyone had a chance to remind her to write it down. Her work allows the chapter to run efficiently and smoothly. There was one meeting in particular that this sister was unable to attend, and not one member of the chapter thought they were worthy enough to take minutes because this sister consistently goes above and beyond as her chapter's secretary. Congratulations to this year's Outstanding Secretary, Melanie Ojala from the Beta Iota chapter. Congratulations, Melanie.
Qualities of an outstanding treasurer are exceptional grace under fire, wisdom, kindness, generosity of the spirit, a willingness and eagerness to strive for perfection, and a tireless pursuit of integrity and organization. Having worked personally with this treasurer this last year, I can vouch for her in all of these categories. Her fellow sisters explain that she is gracious when a sister needs more time, but is also on top of her job and doesn't let her sisters slip up. And she works with all chairs and executive committee members in a productive and loving way. This year's Outstanding Treasurer is Abby Anderson from the Beta Zeta chapter at Vanguard University in Costa Mesa, California.
Vice presidents are often the behind-the-scene heroes of a chapter. They support the chapter president, manage all the committees, and often fill in the gaps wherever they might be. This particular sister took on the VP role when the previous left suddenly, and according to her chapter, she has been faithful, very encouraging, there for her sisters, and doesn't mind stepping up when needed. The recipient of this year's Outstanding VP Award is Miss Deanna Keller from the Beta Alpha chapter.
I am presenting the Outstanding President Award. If you have met this sister, you know that she radiates the joy of the Lord. She continues to plug in wherever she can to best serve her fellow sisters, whether that's through roles in the background or those at the forefront. When her chapter unexpectedly faced losing campus recognition, she jumped into action and made sure that they had enough things put together in time for a presentation to the university. And phew, they maintained their status. She then put in safeguards for the future to ensure this wouldn't happen again, and never blamed anyone but focused on solutions. Her chapter also had a treasurer step into the role mid-semester, and one sister said, quote, "She was the perfect leader in bringing up our new treasurer and making sure our chapter was not heavily impacted with the change." Additionally, her chapter has recognized that her efforts in maintaining chapter morale were successful during the transition from normal campus life to quarantine life. One sister wrote, "From maintaining the weekly Bible studies to sending each and every one of our sisters letters through the mail as a sign of encouragement and love, she has made being away from my sisters so much easier with her kind heart and never-ending love for this organization." I, too, have also had the privilege of working alongside her on the convention committee, and I can attest that her willingness and passion for SAO is what makes me confident that the future of our sisterhood is a bright one. Congratulations to our 2020 Outstanding President, Ms. Martine Schubert from the Upsilon chapter at UNC Charlotte.
Outstanding Alumni is an award that is very, very near and dear to my heart. We have an alumni base very, very willing to volunteer and just give of their time. After you graduate, there's no more requirements, there's no more points, there's no more to-do lists for your chapter. Everything turns into an I want to list. And we would not be the organization that we are today without our alumni. This year, the most outstanding alumni is described as someone who is constantly reaching out to her chapter, sending encouraging notes, encouraging texts, and even encouraging videos. She was someone who showed up to her chapter events, always ready to boost morale. And then when we could no longer meet in person because of COVID-19, she wrote handwritten notes to everybody in her chapter and sent them through snail mail. She always has a positive attitude and is always willing and able and ready to help her chapter whenever they need her. So I'm excited to announce that this year's Most Outstanding Alumni Award goes to Faith Dumas from the Upsilon chapter.
Congratulations to the following chapters who, through their hard work and dedication, earned the title of Distinguished Chapter for the Fall 2019, Spring 2020 season. The chapters are Alpha, North Carolina State University; Beta, Appalachian State University; Theta, Georgia College and State University; Iota, East Carolina University; Mu, the University of Georgia; Nu, Western Carolina University; Omicron, the University of North Carolina at Wilmington; Upsilon, the University of North Carolina at Charlotte; Chi, the University of South Carolina; Alpha Alpha, James Madison University; Alpha Beta, the University of North Carolina at Greensboro; Alpha Delta, Christopher Newport University; Alpha Epsilon, the University of Wisconsin-Madison; Alpha Zeta, the University of Virginia at Wise; Alpha Xi, Campbell University; Alpha Omicron, Clemson University; Alpha Sigma, Kennesaw State University; Alpha Chi, the University of Michigan; Alpha Psi, Longwood University; Alpha Omega, Michigan State University; Beta Alpha, Roanoke College; Beta Beta, Mars Hill University; Beta Delta, Jackson State University; Beta Zeta, Vanguard University; Beta Eta, Westchester University; Beta Theta, the University of Pittsburgh; Beta Iota, St. David's, Pennsylvania.
The chapter of service shows many things in their achievement. First, by meeting all deadlines and staying on top of nationally required service events, and also by serving past those requirements. This chapter even made efforts to celebrate non-required events, like celebrating World Ovarian Cancer Day by selling teal scrunchies. This chapter has had a strange school year, starting off with a hurricane and ending with COVID-19, but they still managed to spread awareness of ovarian cancer and donate hundreds of dollars to OCA organizations. I am pleased to present the Chapter of Service Award to the Omicron chapter. The Sister of Service Award is given to a sister who not only serves the sorority, but embodies the agape love that Christ depicted. This sister has done many things to continue to build SAO and encourage other sisters. She started her SAO journey in 2004 as a founder of the Lambda chapter, served on the National Board of Trustees, and then continued to serve as a regional mentor. She helped to establish a charitable foundation in 2013 that would soon become SAO's official Sisters by Grace Charitable Foundation, and then continue on to serve for the SBG Board of Directors. Additionally, this sister's claim to fame is that she has been to 12 conventions, not including our first virtual convention. I am so happy to present the Sister of Service Award to Janae Campestad.
Chapter of Promise is awarded to a chapter that has chosen to stay positive and productive even when things aren't easy. This year's Chapter of Promise has done exactly that. When faced with the almost certain dissolution of their chapter charter, 4 ladies stepped up to push forward and do what some thought to be impossible. With the help of the National Board, they hosted a recruitment, bringing in the 5 additional ladies to come alongside them and go through the process to reactivate the chapter's charter. The 9 of them worked together, revamping the chapter and refocusing on what SAO is all about, glorifying God and being a light on campus, while enjoying the unity of sisterhood. After successfully reactivating the chapter's charter, they recruited an additional 4 ladies this past spring and are looking forward to their initiations once they're able to get back together, further growing their chapter. Having had the opportunity to work closely with this chapter, I can say without a doubt that this is just the beginning. I see so much promise in these ladies and what they will do on Radford's campus. I personally cannot wait to see where you go in the years to come. Alpha Lambda, you have grown so much, and congratulations on being the 2020 Chapter of Promise.
I am presenting the Sister of Promise Award. This sister rose to the challenge of filling the presidential role after the former president stepped down unexpectedly. Hardships at her chapter had been long simmering, despite significant strides to ensure that they were doing things the right way and staying focused on Christ. This new president continued to weather the storm, despite constant opinions of her changing from inside the chapter and outside the chapter at the campus, which is still somewhat skeptical of SAO. Because these tensions were high, the National Board stepped in. Her patience, timely responses, and maturity throughout the entire process, even when her character was called into question, was indicative of an attitude described in Proverbs 31:15. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. While she was hurt by anonymous comments made, and her personal health struggled, she never let her willingness to cooperate for the benefit of her chapter falter, relying on the fact that the truth would come out about who she really is and all she was doing for her chapter. And that it did. The vast majority of opinions from sisters spoke volumes about her true character. One sister said of her, "She has encouraged and affirmed members individually and as a group. She has pushed us to be better leaders and Christians." We are confident that her leadership and endurance is something rarely seen in the average person, and we know that she deserves this award as she continues to guide and lead her chapter to great things into the next school year and make a positive impact on the world beyond. So congratulations to our 2020 Sister of Promise, Miss Samantha Smith from the Alpha Upsilon chapter at Lee University.
Nominations for chapter achievement are for chapters who overcome a significant obstacle. The chapter who is winning this award this year overcame a significant amount of obstacles this year. The most notable obstacle being when campus administration abruptly shut down all recruitment for all student organizations on their campus. The chapter immediately reached out to their national representative and worked together to handle all of the roadblocks that they faced. They handled everything with grace and poise. Additionally, the mentor was overwhelmed with the welcoming efforts of the active sisters when she joined any meeting with them. She was also extremely thrilled to see an active alumni base, in part due to the active sisters' efforts. The alumni even had a chat going for prayers and praises, and the mentor was thrilled to see how the active sisters interacted with the alumni. Even when the remainder of the year was canceled due to the pandemic, she witnessed this chapter continue to be strong and have virtual meetings for laughter, for chatting, for prayers, and for praises. They held their elections for the next year already and have told me that they have some great girls lined up for the next fall recruitment. With a new campus administration coming on board to support them in the fall, we have no doubt that the Beta Beta chapter at Mars Hill University is ready and prepared to have their best year yet. Congratulations, ladies, on your award.
The Sister Achievement Award is given to a sister that has overcome obstacles, achieving what others thought impossible. This year's recipient has worked incredibly hard to help turn her chapter around. She stepped up to the role of president and worked diligently to learn all roles on exec so that she could help each position and committee. I had the pleasure of working closely with her as their chapter mentor and watching her tackle obstacle after obstacle with grace, wisdom, and poise, all while taking on some pretty incredible responsibilities at home. Her chapter noted that she'll go above and beyond to make sure that they are good and always holds herself and those around her to high standards. She has such a kind heart, and most importantly, she has helped us foster sisterhood. They also said she's been a huge piece of the Pi chapter. She stepped up to the role of president during one of our toughest times and has been killing it. She has been working so hard to help us turn this chapter around. While I personally could go on and on about this recipient, I will leave it at this. I could not be more honored to present this year's Sister Achievement Award to Miss Larissa Isles of the Pi chapter.
The Dove Award is a nomination-based award given to a sister of Sigma Alpha Omega enrolled or alumna. The Dove Award recipient will personify the following: evidence of a strong work ethic, an obvious passion for Christ and Sigma Alpha Omega, and an extraordinary dedication to her commitments and relationships. This sister is defined by the words sincere, driven, and patient. She currently serves as the president for her chapter, but continually exceeds expectations and requirements both in the sorority and in her relationships. Matthew 3:16-17 says, "As soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water. At that moment, heaven was opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting on him." I am so happy to present this year's Dove Award to Taylor Long of the Alpha Xi chapter.
Song of Solomon 2:1-2 says, "I am a rose of Sharon, a lily of the valley. As the lily among the thorns, so is my love among my daughters." The Lily Award is a nomination-based award given to a sister that exemplifies Christ's love like a lily among the thorns. She has a Christ-like attitude of humility and compassion, a consistent record of service to others, and a strong reputation as a woman of Christ and an ambassador for SAO. This recipient's sisters explain, "If you ask anyone on campus about Haley, I know the first things mentioned are her strong faith and her ties to SAO. She is always finding new ways to reach our community and spread the word about Christ and SAO. For example, when a local community member's house burned down, Haley was right there immediately to set up the fundraiser to help that family." This year's Lily Award recipient is Haley Dotson of the Alpha Zeta chapter at the University of Virginia at Wise.
This year's Chapter of the Year set out to make a huge change in September. They had self-admittedly been moving away from Christ in the last few semesters and wanted to start fresh this year. They recognized altogether that things needed to change if they were going to get back to where they were and have the best year yet. The chapter had big plans for recruitment and events at the beginning of the year, but they realized they really needed to make God a #1 priority. The leadership and members showed true, real self-reflection and worked through tough conversations about who they were, and what they want to be. They didn't just want to be another sorority. They wanted to be the Christian sorority on their campus. In the following months, they made some big changes, doing an average of 5 Bible studies per month. They had a stellar social media presence, held consistent service events that partnered with a wide variety of organizations on campus that helped their community, and really made a huge impact in their local area. This chapter showed amazing and true growth and is extremely deserving of this award. Congratulations to this year's Chapter of the Year, Alpha Omega at Michigan State University.
I am presenting the Sister of the Year Award. And I honestly don't know what this particular sister can't do. She has dove into SAO and has never come up for breath. She has served as positions and even served on the Convention 2020 committee. She has not only great ideas, but also great flexibility and follow-through, a skill that has helped her, both her chapter, flourish after a season and the class of 2020, who because of her would receive the slice of recognition that they deserve from our national organization. One sister said of her, "She has contributed to the chapter in more ways than I can really count." She has worked with Sisters by Grace Foundation to develop an upcoming pen pal program during quarantine, and she has applied to continue her service to her sisters through becoming a national mentor as she steps into the role of becoming an alumna. So many have benefited from her hard work and, not to mention, great jokes. And we are so proud to bestow this award to someone who exemplifies the ideals of our sisterhood in so many ways, from the campus to the classroom, as she begins her teaching profession. So congratulations to Ms. Courtney Case from the Iota chapter at East Carolina University.